Hello there and welcome to this slideshow of a walk around some of Angus in Scotland. It's a huge area, so we can't say it's all of Angus by a long way. And there's Kincardineshire Lighthouse. You'll see a lot of that. It's well photographed along with a minesweeper. He doesn't stand there, I put him there. And there's Kincardineshire yet again. And there's Montrose trekking from a railway bridge. And there's the minesweeper again, where he should be, by William Lamb. And that's ferried in with Kincardineshire, bit of fancy stuff. And the three mirrors in Montrose, and I'm in all the shots. And that's looking up Kincardineshire, and this one's looking across at Kincardineshire from Sandy Brae's end. Still at Sandy Brae's, not far. And that's all about Kincardineshire Lighthouse, built by the Stevenson family. And that's looking across at the GlaxoSmithKline works in Montrose, across the river, the South Esk. And that's the remnants of an old capstan, not the cigarette, and that's one of the old signal towers. And there's St Palladius up Duntochty Glen. That's in the grounds of Duntochty Castle. And that's the road over towards the Blue Bridge. The Blue Door, not the Blue Bridge. And that's us back up at Duntochty, a couple of bulls. And this is the river flowing through Firth of Tay and up at the top end. Not a lot of water in it. And here is Firth of Tay. I think it's one of the best entrances and exits anywhere in Scotland. That's looking down into the village, and that's back again at the monument and the fancy gate. This is a better view. It's a bit narrow, as you can see. Not a lot of wagons come through. Nice place, Firth of Tay. Well worth a visit if you're ever up that way. Clattering Brig, Cairnmount, Strachan, Bankery, they're all way up to the right there. The Royal Arch, open to cars and light goods only. And there's the churchyard. Some of the old stones, they're not Pictish, although they're getting back that way. Very nice. And that's the view from Cairnmount. It might be, I'm not sure. And that's definitely Kinnaber. And there's the main road. Yes, it's a main road with only one-way traffic. You can't get two buses on it at the same time. And that's the River North Esk. And that's us back in Montrose, as you can see by the church. Reputedly the highest spire in Scotland. I say reputedly because they won't let me go up with a tape measure. And here we are going up towards Pinner's Brig. Now that is a nice place to go. It's the far side of Atholl. Beautiful place to... There's actually a proper picnic area. But the water's always like this. It's lovely. Even whenever it's a bit wild, it's still lovely. I like water. I'm a Piscean, you know. I'm one of the two fishes. And this is looking down onto the water along one of the walks behind the Blue Door. And that's the landmarks in Glenesk, the Rocks of Solitude and Cornelius Stones. And this is up at the museum, the Retreat Museum. Old objects are old and fragile. That's me. And there's a wintry shot. They get a lot of wintries up there. It could have something to do with the northern latitude. Doesn't stop you getting about too much. As you can see with the delivery wagon in that last shot. And this is looking across from the graveyard end, the burial yard, across the basin. And this is on the spit end of the basin. I'm looking from the spit back towards Rossi Island. Nothing to do with Francis Rossi, status quo. No matter what some of the locals tell you, it had nothing to do with Francis Rossi. And that's the viaduct. Monorail, it's the west coast line, and the trains are sorted out so there's only one on there at a time. And this is looking into the basin with the tide either coming in or going out. And then it turns into mud flats for a load of wildlife. You'll see a shot of a train somewhere in a minute, I think. I know the trains went past while I was up there shooting that skeleton. It's lovely, that boat. Sad but lovely. They are. There's one of the trains. And there's one of the boats. They'll wait till it sinks and then they'll probably dig it up and fix it. It's a shame to let it get like that or this. But people do, and I think they still use them. I can't say because I'm never there when they're out. There's that skeleton again. Still got all the ropes lying there. They say these were all taken from the spit side looking across towards Rossi Island and Montrose. And there's Montrose with a train going up and down the line, up or down the line. Montrose again. And this is in the basin. That last couple of shots were taken across the basin from Dun. That's D-U-N, Dun. And this, I'm still at Dun, just watching these swans making out. Actually quite sweet. The feet seem to touch the ground. It is terribly shallow because they stand up and flap their wings. And that's looking into the dock area at Montrose. There's another old winch that's round it. Who's using? Fishtown of Using. Looking back towards Kincardineshire Lighthouse. And again. And again. You'll remember Kincardineshire Lighthouse. And again. And one more, and I'm out of here. Ta-ra the new Jimmy. Bye.